I'm Autumn Ivy. This is Cooking Companions. Here's the thing. The developer and the publisher, Dear Dream Studios, actually had me do some efforts. I won't necessarily call them voice lines because they're not really voice lines, but I did some efforts.
The upcoming game Dreadweight.
But then they asked me very, very politely and amazingly if I would check out this game. And of course, I want to make sure that I can indulge. So this is technically sponsored. Obviously, I was gifted the game and so on. But as you guys know, I'm always going to have very clear, obvious opinions as I'm playing, that it doesn't matter what the outcome is. Like, I'm not being paid to tell you you did a good job and give you a pat on the back. But the one thing I didn't expect in this is the fact that I sat down, because I'm going into this game not knowing much at all. But I started reading the page for this game. I've never thought that I would see the words cute psychological horror in the same sentence. But Cooking Companions has a mystery that is a cute psychological horror visual novel set in the deep woods of the Tatras Mountains. So I don't know what the word cute, psychological, and horror psychological horror obviously go together, but like what? I didn't know psychological horror could be cute. So I got some feelings about that, but it's fine. So I guess we'll see how this goes. I don't know. That's what I've got. So I'm Autumn Ivy. This is Cooking Companions. Let's go. This was developed and published by Dear Dream Studios. It's cute. It really is. Oh, hello? Am I taking too long? I'm worried. This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Do you wish to continue? What? Please read this carefully. Yeah? Okay. Oh, do I have to I don't know. My voice is gonna be trash for this, guys. I'm so sorry. Alright, I'll do my best. I could probably at least get, like, I don't know, I'll figure it out. That walk was brutal, but this cabin is amazing. Full kitchen, running water, it really has everything. Finally, a place I can read a good book in peace. I can't wait to Achoo! I'm sorry, everyone. It must be the dust. Get those allergies under control, Mariah. Don't worry, guys. I'm sure with a little elbow grease, we can make this cabin shine. So, are you volunteering to clean, Gregor? No. Not many supplies here. Guess we'll have to go out to get what we need. There's a fireplace for making stew, so let's gather up some firewood, okay? Leave that to me, little guy. I'll tidy up around the cabin. Need to save Mariah from dying due to this dust. Is that literal? I'm scared that's literal. That might be literal. Hey! Allergies are nothing to joke about, Karen. She's not dead yet, Pipsqueak. Calm down. Thanks, Anatoly. I think I'll go foraging outside. With over 450 mosses, 900 fungi, and 70 slime molds, there's bound to be treasure up here. Roughing it is fun. Anatoly knows so much about edible foods. We're in good hands. I think the slime molds will be the most delicious. Most certainly not. What about the fungi? Do you even know which ones are poisonous? I could figure that out. You can be the canary in the coal mine, Anatoly. I'm not ending up a corpse here. Keep both eyes open, little guy. Plenty of wolves and brown bears around. They won't be a problem. I read up on 10 different techniques to incapacitate them. Number 1 is... Anatoly? Oh, yeah. Sorry, Mariah. Got carried away again. I'll help Anatoly look for food. I'm definitely better at warding off wild animals. If we come up empty-handed, we can always eat some of the food we've brought. You mean the emergency rations? Bad idea, Chom. Hey, Anatoly and Mariah are getting the food. Gregor is gathering the firewood. That makes you our designated chef. Everyone's looking at you expectantly. You nod.
Very excited to try your cooking.
All right, everyone, let's get to work while there's still sunlight. Why is he so happy? Everybody else is kind of just mean. Number 1 is a gun!
Mariah, Anatoly, Gregor. The 3 exit the cabin, leaving you and Karen alone.
I think Anatoly put the supplies in the kitchen. Thanks for helping out with the cooking. Oh, tutorial. To save the game, right-click or hit the escape button on your keyboard to pull up the menu. Alright. Oh, perfect. Okay, alright, we did that. Back to game. This menu will also allow you to adjust volume levels or exit to the title screen to view unlockables. Yeah, you know, Oddity, honestly, like, he's kind of hot, though. Like, I'm feeling it.
Do you have any experience making meals?
I feel like, depending on my answer, this could be a good or a bad thing, and I'm not sure which, honestly. I mean, I know how to cook. I feel like...
Is that so? Looking at you, I think you'd be good at serving up food poisoning.
What's wrong with me? What do you mean?
Right?
It looks like Karen will remember that. I mean, she was rude. I hope she does.
Anyways, going to check out the living room. Let's talk later.
Karen heads to the living room and starts looking at the books. You decide to look around the kitchen to find ingredients for the meal tonight. You never know what you'll find around the cabin. Clues and secrets may be revealed by searching an area more than once. Why not give it a try? What area do you want to search first? Well, I mean... I feel like behind the wood pile's got some secrets, right? Like, that's where people like it. They're like, they'll never look in the wood pile, you know? So, like, there's nothing but okay, just kidding. Thankfully, no spiders. The first few cupboards are empty. Anatoly must have put the supplies somewhere else. So in the drawers? You check the drawers on the left. Just some dirty knives. You look at the wood logs closer. This is just a pile of Norway spruce! Okay. Fair enough. You check the cupboards again. Just some mouse turds and cobwebs. You check the drawers above the mouse hole. Some kind of mold is growing in this one. Maybe Karen would find it appetizing? You check the drawer above the wood pile. Something's making it difficult to open. You pull it open with all your might. A body! Oh, what?
Cabbage! It's time! Chobets, sound off! Never fear, Onion is here!
Like my cousin Cornbread says, I'll rise to the occasion.
Always merry raspberry! Potato?
Cabbage stuffed me into this drawer. I'm pretty sure this counts as kidnapping. I'm not gonna remember all of these voices, by the way. I'm trying really hard to exist.
Why talk with those boring humans? All they have to give you is drama. Come chat with us instead. We'll share your valuable recipes you can cook. We'll share with you our secret Chompette recipes. Collect them all to become a 5-star chef.
Is potato okay?
To celebrate, here's your first recipe card. Roasted eggplant with sesame and pomegranate. Meat free.
I like meat, though.
If you ever want to talk, just come to the drawer.
Chompettes, let's move out. Cabbage rudely slams the drawer closed. You wonder if what you just saw was real. You're slightly worried about what this means for your mental state. But only slightly. Hey, did you find the supplies? You shake your head. Anatoly lied. He actually put them in the bedroom. Why would he? Idiot. Here you go. You got the emergency supplies. Okay, bet.
Karen leaves you alone. You start a fire with some of the wood and get to work on cooking dinner. Tonight's entree, vegetable stew. In a large saucepan over medium heat, you heat some water with potatoes, carrots, and celery in it. 15 minutes later, you drain the pan and set the vegetables aside. Placing some butter in the saucepan, you melt it over medium heat. Throwing some chopped onions in.
Is this a legitimate recipe? This sounds like an actual recipe. The onions are tender and translucent. Perfect. You next mix in some flour, and salt, and pepper, and heavy cream into the saucepan, adding the vegetables to the mixture. What do the other vegetables think about this? What does potato and cabbage think about their brethren being devoured right now? I'm just curious. Hours pass. It took them hours to... We're back! More firewood than you'll ever need.
We found some wild sorrel. Maybe tomorrow we'll have a bigger bounty. Anatoly's burying the lead. We saw a red deer.
Mariah spotted it.
Yeah, that's great. Anyways, killed 17 spiders today while you were out looking at deer. That should come as no surprise. There's over 160 species of spiders here.
160? Don't worry, Mariah. I'm sure they were all in the bathroom or something.
No. Almost all of them were near the couch.
I was gonna sleep on the couch!
That's where 16 of them were.
I'm not sleeping on that couch then! And there's only 2 beds in the bedroom. Don't sweat it, Mariah. I can sleep anywhere. I'll use the rocking chair. Just in case any of them swarm the couch. I'll sleep with one eye open. What is this group of people? Like, is Karen just kind of... I don't know if I can... Karen and Anatoly, you two take the bedroom.
Thanks, big guy. Joke's on you, Gregor. I always planned on taking one of the beds. Hey, Anatoly. I snore louder than a lumberyard. Ugh. Sweet dreams, chump.
You turn back to your bubbling vegetable stew and try a bite. Oh, this tastes pretty good. You cooked vegetable stew! You set the table and ask everyone to dig in. They all look so expectant. Oh wow, this smells delicious. Thank you.
You must be a world-class chef.
Karen takes a bite. It's bland as hell. Karen! Tastes like every other vegetable stew. So generic. Could probably use some meat next time.
Gross. For a side dish, we could bake some bread and utilize Fragaria vesca, commonly known as strawberries, for some jam.
Nobody cares, Pipsqueak. Everyone laughs at Karen's polite ribbing. That's polite? That's polite ribbing? Why is she like this? She doesn't have to be that way. She just is that way. Nothing makes you happier than cooking a great meal for friends. This could very well be the best day you've ever had. You go to bed stuffed. Oh god, there's a day system? Oh god, why am I suddenly reminded of Majora's Mask? I'm not ready. I don't know, when is day 3? Does day 3 fall apart? What's happening? Hey, you up? How'd you sleep? I was so warm last night, I didn't even need a blanket. What time is it? About 1 hour until dawn.
Will you two quiet down? Trying to sleep over here.
Gregor, the birds outside aren't making much noise yet. We didn't bring many supplies, remember? Better to get a head start on gathering food. It's too early for this. Gregor? Did you see any spiders last night? There was a small one in the bathroom. Actually, I did see a centipede by the sink. Mariah turns a little pale. Karen's messing with you, Mariah. Let's find more than wild sorrel today. If you're lucky, little guy, maybe I'll teach you how to catch some wild brown trout.
What's with you and meat, big guy? Anatoly's herbalism book stated that there's many more species of plants to eat out there. Let's leave the fish alone. You know, I'm not, into meat.
That's a shame. I'd wake up early to go fishing. Cheer up, Karen. We'll get to observe the trout at the very least. Maybe we'll see more red deer today. That sounds like a waste of time, Gregor.
Maybe we'll find some black thornberries. I love black thornberries.
We'll be back later. Can you watch our stuff today? You nod.
Thank you.
Thanks. Don't steal anything, okay? You nod. Why is she Okay, but hold on. I feel like I'm being misled. Because I have a weird feeling that, like, all of the positive characters are actually, like, the bad guys. And, like, meanwhile, Karen knows they're all bad guys. So she's, like, intentionally obtuse because she's trying to set the pace for you not to trust her. I don't... You gotta have you gotta, with the Grand Canyon brain. You gotta use a Grand Canyon brain. Mariah, Anatoly, Gregor, and Karen leave the cabin with a skip to their step. You're alone, but thankfully you have a drawer of chompettes to keep you company. Each day you'll be asked to explore a different part of the cabin. You only get one choice, then the day will end. Choose wisely. What do you want to check out today? Talk with the chompettes, check out the bedroom, look around the bathroom, or go into the basement. None of those options sound appealing to me. I think it's a little weird. I feel like the vegetables know something, which is... My trust is through the window with this group right now. But also, anybody who's anybody knows that going to the basement according to Evil Dead is the worst possible decision that you could make. Nothing bad has ever happened in a cabin basement. You know, you guys know that that's why I have to go into the basement, right? I have to go into the basement. I need to know. This door goes into the basement. There's no reason to go into the basement right now. You wait for the others to return. That was a waste. Damn. Alright, fair enough. We're back! Knock it off, Mariah.
It's pretty rare to be scared of one.
It's not! Who knew the big guy would be so scared of it? Shut up! You don't understand! I don't think anyone understands, Gregor. It was just a marmot, Gregor, not a monster. Mariah laughs so hard that your ears ring. Tears are... I don't know what that last part was. I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. Tears are rolling down Mariah's cheeks. She's laughing so hard she's about to hyperventilate. Stop her from hyperventilating? Well, I feel like that's the right thing to do, right? If she's gonna hyperventilate, how do I know she's gonna hyperventilate? I don't know if she's gonna hyperventilate. Like, let her laugh. She's having a good... I should save. I'm gonna save. I don't want to overwrite my save. I've got little to no trust here. I don't know. Absolutely not. One less mouth to feed, right? What? You don't get it. It's pretty personal.
Then please explain, big guy.
Gregor looks incredibly uncomfortable. Let's leave him alone.
We found some raspberries and elderberries near the cabin. Quite the selection of species here.
We also found more wild sorrel. Is this going to be enough for a good meal? Everyone is looking at you for an answer. You decide to do an inventory of all available ingredients. It takes you a while, but you decide on your specialty, cabbage rolls. You first bring a large pot of water to a boil. You let the cabbage leaves boil for 2 minutes, straining the pot in the sink. In a medium mixing bowl, you combine some cooked rice, onion, an egg, salt, and pepper, along with some tomato sauce. Use your hands to mix thoroughly. and decide to wash your hands after it won't come off. Did you wash your... Okay. Dividing the rice mixture evenly between the cabbage leaves, you then roll them up and tie a string around them so they stay in one place. You place the cabbage rolls in a large skillet over medium heat, pouring the rest of the tomato mixture over the top. Covering it, you bring it to a boil. You reduce the heat to low and let the cabbage rolls simmer for about 40 minutes, being sure to baste it with the liquid. You cooked cabbage rolls! I really feel like some of these recipes I kind of want to try. These are legit. These seem like legitimate recipes. Like, I feel like I should be making this while I'm playing this. I feel like this was a missed opportunity for me to be in my kitchen right now. Mariah looks optimistic. Karen looks skeptical. Anatoly looks curious. Gregor looks thrilled. I think that's just his default face. I feel like Gregor is like a default thrilled kind of guy. Autumn's Kitchen live. You watch intently as everyone takes the first bite. Am I secretly poisoning these people? That's pretty darn good. Wow, I could eat the whole batch myself. I think the vegetable stew tasted better, but I'm loving how tender the cabbage is. The sauce is pretty red. Did you use fresh tomatoes for it? It really adds to it. Spoon some of the liquid on top of it. You'll thank me later. Incredible. It's definitely growing on me. This really was something special. Thanks again for cooking. Everyone leaves the dishes behind for you to do. Whoa! Whoa! No! No! No, no, no. That is not how I was raised. I was raised Southern. And when you are raised in a household like I was, if you cooked, everybody else does the dishes. They clean up and they do the That's not how this works. That's not how this works. No. They're gonna lose it, and they're gonna come for this group. Dishes can wait. Everyone goes to bed full and happy. You are asleep instantly. Tomorrow will be another great day. This is unsettling. I think it's the subtlety of it. Like, we're on day 2, and I'm like, alright, what's gonna happen next? Good morning, everyone! Again, Gregor? Can't you let us sleep in? Not today! Why? Storm clouds are coming. We need to find some food before it begins to downpour. Gregor, you're overreacting. We have enough food to last us a while. Enough food? I thought we used most of the supplies for last night's dinner. He's right. The meal you made was delicious, but it used a lot of what we had. Gregor's also correct. Precipitation is unusually high in this area, with many areas being high risk for flooding. It'd be foolish to not go out and look for food today. You really think it'll flood? Thankfully, the cabin is on high ground, but that doesn't mean we're safe from floodwaters. It's always a possibility, so can't hurt to be prepared. You're losing it, Gregor. Karen! There's nothing to worry about. I think Gregor's right, Karen. Huh? It won't hurt to prepare for the worst. I think she's right, Karen. Fail to prepare. Prepare to fail. Anatoly, let's go out and prepare for the storm. Foraging should be a key priority today. There are plenty of edible foods, and it has better odds than trying to hunt. Give me a few minutes, and I'll plot on our route on some paper. Let me help, little guy. What is this family? Unfortunately, you can't make everyone happy. When given a choice to speak to a character, choose wisely. You can only select one of them. Try to max out your bond with certain characters' unique dialogue and scenarios. Which one would you prefer to talk to? Oh god, I'm gonna save, because I don't know. I feel like talking to Karen is like... I just don't know. You also kind of almost said that, you know, Mariah dying would be fine. So, like, I don't know about that. I feel like there's a vibe coming off of Karen, and I want to know what it is. I don't know. I feel like Mariah is the obvious choice, is the problem. Like, Mariah also is coming off, like, really scared and, like, tentative about, I don't know. I want to see what Karen has to say. Hey, this paper nailed to the wall, it's pretty ancient. What were the old days like? Are you talking about this painting? Because, like, it's just a lightning storm. I don't really know what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean. Never mind. You must enjoy these antiques, huh? You bore Karen with some brief yet dull descriptions of items lying around. Cool. I'll tell, the others later. Karen looks disturbed by your comments. You hear a loud laugh from the other room. Gregor and Anatoly come back from their meeting. Gregor is blushing slightly. What? Hey, can you cook something while we're out? Didn't you leave? Where did you... What do you mean? Thank you. All right, everyone, we have our route now. Let's beat those rain clouds. The group leaves, determined as ever. You have the cabin all to yourself. Hello? What's that noise? It sounds like it's coming from the kitchen. Huh? Radio? What's going on with that radio? You didn't even notice that on the ground when you walked in. Did somebody leave this radio here? It looks newer than anything you've seen before. It seems to be broken. You better hold on to this. Is this Silent Hill? You got the strange radio! Listen, I have seen this scene, okay? I played Silent Hill. I remember what happens when you find the broken radio that's making weird static noises. I don't have trust for this. I don't have my trust particles in my brain pan are rattling. Untrustworthy. Before you cook dinner, what should you check out? Well, going to the basement led to absolutely nothing. So that's not a thing. I guess I could go to the bathroom? Well, we found the radio in the kitchen, so I feel like inspecting the kitchen would make, like... No. Bathroom? Bathroom. Bathroom? Bathroom. Poop hole. You remember an old tale about a child who said a killer's name 3 times in the mirror. What? Why is there so many dots? But you can't remember how it ended. You're too frightened to even try it. You leave the bathroom a little more scared than when you entered. Was that all? Mariah's back early today. Hey, the others are still looking for food outside. Anatoly found some more berries, but nothing that will feed all of us. Please don't tell the others, but I'm a little worried about our supplies. I crunched the numbers and we don't have enough food, even with rationing, to last if we get stuck here. Mariah seems disappointed in your inventory management. Can you try cooking with a little less this evening? You nod. Thank you. You've done such a great job with meals so far. You're very sweet. Is Mariah blushing a little bit? Mariah will remember that. What is the point? I don't... Oh, okay, I guess. Yeah! Maybe you can teach me to cook sometime. You nod. Looking forward to it. You could hold cooking classes here someday. Rudely interrupting a tender moment, the others burst into the cabin. Okay. Don't be so down, everyone. We got tons of good berries. Ugh. Jam is so bland without any sugar, though. Do you have any? You shake your head sadly. Yikes. Turn that frown upside down, Karen. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? I'm not smiling for you, Gregor.
You missed out. The sunset was really tremendous on our way back. Hues of orange, red, even a little purple poking out. Red sky at night, sailors' delight. Red sky in the morning, sailors take warning.
So we can expect a sailor's delight tomorrow? That's awesome! Big guy.
We must have walked a few miles today. Beautiful area. You could even see the snows on the snow on the tips of the mountains.
That rumble sounded like a dying calf. You looked from person to person, trying to determine who it was. It was definitely Mariah.
Mariah! I'd recognize that sound from anywhere. Guilty.
Mariah looks embarrassed, but the group laughs at her honesty. Except for you. You search your mind for something to say, but all you can think of is an old riddle. Those who have it do not want it. Those who have it least succeed. Those who have it for too long perish. When you feed it, it gets smaller. What am I? Dust?
Try again, big guy.
Everyone is pondering the answer. Mariah's face lightens up.
I got it! Is it hunger?
Correct! That was my guess. So, what's on the menu tonight, chef? Bread and jam. You crush the berries in your small mortar and pestle, spreading it on some crusty bread. Ah! It does look really good, though. Like, fair enough. You cooked raspberry jam and bread. The bread's a little, tough.
Gregor, don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
But this homemade jam's to die for. Sorry. What is going on?
No, you're right, Gregor. This bread stinks. Mariah!
Everybody laughs. You're not sure this could be called a meal, but it got the job done. Everyone thanks you for dinner and heads off to sleep. You go to bed wishing you had more. You have a strange dream. Something has been clinging to your back for days. You try to see it in the mirror, but you can't get a good look at it. It won't get off. The pain between your shoulder blades is getting worse by the hour. You wander away from the cabin, stumbling by a river to soak your back in cool water. It doesn't work. It cuts deeper into your back, causing the river to run red. You didn't want things to come to this, but you've exhausted all other options. You swim out into the middle. Rocks on the bottom cut your feet. You slip and fall backwards. You push yourself to the bottom, trying to submerge the creature shredding your back. But it won't drown. It won't drown. It won't drown. You splash frantically, plunging your head beneath the water. You let the current take you downstream. You give up trying to swim to the shore. Water fills your mouth and nostrils. After a minute, you stop struggling against the water. As you gaze up at the sky, you feel it leaving your back, drifting into the sky as you sink to the bottom. As you take your last gasp, you see what was on your back staring into your eyes. But you don't even have the air in your lungs to scream. You wake in a cold sweat. I'm sorry. Excuse me? Okay. Wake up! Sorry, you were making strange noises in your sleep.
What's going on, Gregor? Did the lightning wake you up? It woke me up. Tried to fall back asleep, but it's so loud.
Let's just get back to sleep and talk about this in the morning. Everyone nods in agreement and gets back to bed. This is interesting. Except for you. You can't fall back asleep. You still have goosebumps from the nightmare. Karen's snoring is making the walls shake. You don't sleep a wink, opening your eyes when you hear Anatoly slamming the door. He sounds petrified. What is going on? I looked out the door and we're completely surrounded by floodwaters. Looks like the sailor takes warning was more appropriate for today. Maybe it'll clear up tomorrow. You're no optimist, Karen. Yeah? That's all Gregor has going for him. He's also good at chopping wood, though. Knock it off, you two. Mariah, do you think it'll clear up tomorrow? I give it a 27% chance. Based on what? I was bored stiff, so I read a book on local precipitation levels. Anatoly, you're a book nerd, right? Why didn't you read it earlier? Couldn't make it past the cover. Is that right? Yes? That bookshelf has some great books on artisan crafting and natural sciences. Why let them sit there gathering dust? How did you arrive at a 27% chance of it clearing up tomorrow? It's easy. Take the time of year, multiply it by a factor of... Mariah begins to explain meteorology to you. She isn't dumbing any of this down. It's similar to where... So the first thing you need to understand, minutes of explanation feels like hours. You look over at Anatoly. He's listening intently to Mariah. So intently, he hasn't blinked yet. You can see his eyes drying up. A tear rolls down one of his cheeks. This is brutal to watch. Mariah finally wraps up her lecture, ending with a bow. Nobody claps. Tough crowd. Mariah, that was awe-inspiring. You lost me a few minutes in, but it's okay. I didn't understand a word of it. Ha ha! Anatoly turns to you. There's no telling how long this will last. We can't leave the cabin until these floodwaters stop. I know our food situation's a little tight, but I know you'll make the right decisions. I believe in you. Me too. It looks like we have enough leftover berries for more bread and raspberry jam. I'll pass on the jam. Just give me more crusty bread. Everyone laughs. Except for you. With everyone stranded in the cabin, you need to keep everyone fed and happy. You sneak out to the kitchen while everyone's talking. This is weird. This is super weird. And we're popping the trust bubble a little bit because this is one of those games that comes out very like Doki Doki Literature where you're like, it's very unassuming, but there's stuff going on in the background, especially in the subtext and some of the characters. I don't trust it. With the kitchen to yourself, you decide to check in on the Chompettes. Hi, guys.
Hello! Don't worry, as leader of the Chompettes, I'll make sure none of the humans know about us. That big guy would try eating me like an apple, so definitely don't tell them about us.
Haha! Are your plans going awry? Got another cornbread classic for you. Did you hear about the bread baker's bakery burning down? No. Her business is now toast. Ah.
That one's a little stale. Do you know how raspberry and milk were introduced?
You tell her no.
Raspberry milk shake.
You let out an audible groan. Did cornbread teach you that one?
Nope, wasted an entire day on it.
Why is potato like the existential dread made physical somehow? Like, I feel like potato is the only one who actually knows what's going on.
Maybe you'll win the annual Chompette comedy competition this year. Of course. Not while I'm here.
I won't choke on stage this year. Isn't that every year, Bread? We still talk about that closing joke, Bread.
You're gonna do great this year. Anyways, don't even think of eating us if you're hungry. Chompettes stick together through thick and thin.
Rain or shine, feast and famine. Potato, I swear to God, you repeat that line or we're locking you up again. Life or death.
That's right!
The Chompettes somehow managed to close the drawer on themselves. You bring the crusty bread and jam into the living room. Karen stops as you bring in the food. Took you long enough. Karen looks at the 2 slices of bread left and the mason jar of raspberry jam. There's mold on these last 2 slices of bread. Can we make sure we don't eat the squirrel?
Karen is right.
What the hell is the matter with you? You grip the knife tightly in your hand.
You think this is enough for 5 of us?
Oh, wait, we can't throw this bread away. It's all we have left. Gregor's right. Anatoly, will mold spores give us food poisoning? I'm no scientist. Sorry. Let's pick off as much mold as we can. We can't leave with the floodwaters, so this'll have to last us another day. Everyone grimly nods, ripping the bread apart like a pack of wolves. Gregor eats the biggest chunks of mold. Disgusting. Thanks again. Bread and jam isn't much of a meal, but it's more than we had in Ukraine.
Plenty of rainwater outside, so at least we don't die of dehydration. But until the storm's over, we shouldn't leave the cabin. Should clear up if we just give it some time.
Anatoly, what makes you think that?
One of the books had weather reports.
You're illiterate, so that's a lie.
Damn, Karen. Karen, I've seen him reading. Who reads upside down?
What do you think? I feel like I don't really want to be involved in whatever, like... I don't... I mean, Karen's... Well, but then again, maybe he can read upside down. Maybe that's how he reads? I don't know if Karen is the mom. That's what I'm not understanding. Like, this whole thing is messy. I mean, Karen's right. You can't really read a book upside down unless it's House of Leaves. I don't want to shit on the kid, but like... I mean, if he could read, wouldn't he have read the weather report, though? Like, Mariah said that there was a book on the weather and, like, meteorology. So if that was true, then if he's such a book nerd, why have the books been left untouched? I mean, that does make sense. She can't, yeah, look, Karen's right. Yeah. You're funny. Keep playing pretend, Anatoly. Brutal Karen. I found an old picture book in the living room, Anatoly. Might be something more your speed. Karen! Karen smiles at you. I guess let's call it a day. Yeah, sure. I don't know. I mean, he didn't touch the books is all I'm saying. So, like, if he was a book nerd, I feel like he would have touched the book. I feel bad. There was no good choice there. 6 minutes later. Oh, hey. I'm glad you called out Anatoly's bluff. You continue to impress. It's a shame Anatoly's sleeping in the same bedroom. I should have never shared it with him. What if it was just me and you? Are you... I'm sure we could study and squeeze a few novels in before bed. Would it, you nod.
Well, we'll have to kick him out at some point, right? Oh, you'll have to tell me about the anatomization book in the bedroom. Really cool pictures in there. Is she coming on to me? I feel I feel like I feel like she's coming on to me. She Karen looks like she has a crush on you. Let me know if you're ever free for a lesson. Okay?
Karen walks away looking very happy. You are definitely sure Karen will remember that. I don't know. I mean, would you go to sleep very hungry? Like, I feel bad for insulting Anatoly, but like, she was kind of right. I mean, if he could read, why didn't he do it? I don't know.
You don't dream the entire night, but you sleep through everyone waking up. And that's how fast a deer could run, if startled.
Whoa.
Incredible.
Impressive.
I wish we had a deer here. With the food getting lower, let's just skip today's meal.
No!
It's only for one day. Various cultures and religions have practiced fasting throughout history.
That doesn't make us feel any better, Anatoly.
What options would we have? Our food wasn't rationed properly.
Anatoly leaves, mumbling to himself. So passive-aggressive of him. Everyone moves to a separate area. Karen in the bedroom, Gregor in the living room, Mariah in the kitchen, and Anatoly in the bathroom. Who do you want to speak to? I mean, I feel like talking to Anatoly at this point while he's in the shitter is probably, weird. I mean, Karen's feeling me. I kind of want to see what's going on with Gregor, because we haven't chatted much with Gregor. And Mariah already is cool with me. So, I feel like I kind of want to know, like, I should apologize to Anatoly. Gregor. Big golden retriever man. Let's go with that. Hey, there are plenty of blankets around, but I never need one. I generate enough heat for the entire cabin. Most of these blankets are pretty thick and heavy, one's mostly used for winter. Why are these out during the summer? You shrug. To be honest, I'm feeling a little guilty about eating that food early on. This should be over soon enough, right? You nod in agreement. Great. Thanks again for everything. Gregor will remember that. Alright. Cool. Don't trust it, though. Giving me the weird. You leave Gregor to go mill around the cabin for a while. Everyone looks pretty down this evening. It won't stop.
You're all doing great. Just a little longer.
I'm so hungry. Me too. You wish everyone a good night and get ready for bed. Your stomach is growling more. You have a strange dream. A boy is yelling at you in the kitchen. You keep telling him to lie down on the tray, but he keeps screaming at you, calling you names. So you show him how it's done. You lie down on the tray and make your body as flat as a board. A smile crawls across his face. His anger turns to courage. And he pushes you into the oven. As the stench of burning hair fills your lungs, you see him sneering back at you. You wake in a cold sweat. Okay. Everyone seems to be sleeping in later than normal. Their stomachs must have kept them awake all night. The rain is still pouring outside. You can barely make out the trees from the windows. Ah, you hear Mariah getting up. She looks petrified. I couldn't sleep. Anatoly has bags under his eyes. The storm is too loud. Karen looks out of it. The cabin was creaking so much last night. It sounded alive. Gregor looks a little gaunt. I got a good look out the window. And? All I saw was rain! Great observation, Gregor. I was so hungry last night. Kept pacing around the bedroom. Karen turns to you. When is this gonna end? I checked outside the door again. Floodwaters keep rising. Unfortunately, we're gonna need to stay put unless one of us wants to drown in rainwater. Once the weather improves, we'll be able to scavenge for supplies. How close is the nearest town? I don't know. Didn't you have a map on you? I think I dropped it while we were running after Gregor. I'm sure it'll show up eventually. Ah! Mariah and Anatoly go white as a sheet. How are we gonna find our way back now? Well, we'll have to ride out the storm. Mariah looks at you. We're down to our last slice of bread. I don't know how much longer we can put off eating. The group stares at you. It'll clear up in no time. Maybe you're right. The group looks worried. They all gravitate to different areas. Gregor's fake optimism is worrying, and Mariah is having trouble. Which one do you want to speak with today? I just talked to Gregor. I don't know about this. I mean, Mariah's losing it a little bit. I haven't talked to Mariah yet, so I'm gonna talk to Mariah. It's cold as hell over here. I'm surprised Gregor isn't freezing to death at night. How does he do it? You explain to Mariah how the size of a person and fat content contributes to their temperature. Ugh! I wish I was as big as Gregor. But to be honest, I'm happy with brains over brawn. Do you know what he wanted to do for a career? Mariah does her best Gregor impression. Cut trees and sleep under the stars. How boring is that? Depends on the person, but pretty boring. You're so funny. Thanks for coming in and chatting with me. Mariah blushes a little. You make it easier to pass the time. Thank you. You're pretty sure Mariah will remember that. I'm not. You thank Mariah and get the others. This is very strange to me. Oh boy, everyone looks sad. You call everyone together. They all look nervous. You could cut the tension in the room with a knife. Everyone is staring at you. They're expecting that last piece of bread for dinner. You bring it out. Everyone cannot take their eyes off it. You instruct everyone to take a pinch. And slowly, all 5 of you tear it apart like a wishbone. Everyone studies their piece of bread carefully, wondering how long it will last. Karen is the first to eat hers, chewing each bite a few hundred times before swallowing. Anatoly chews it cautiously, slowly swallowing as he looks at the others. Mariah nibbles on it silently, eyes wide, moving from person to person. And Gregor just pops it in his mouth like a cherry. He inhaled it. The group thanks you awkwardly. It's not much, but you've run out of options. You wish everyone good night and get ready for bed. You go to bed starving. Why is no one doing anything about this? What? Guys, it's rain. It's not that big of a deal. Good morning! Morning. Let me check if the rain has stopped. It's still flooding. What are we gonna do? Humans can live about 2 to 3 weeks without food. Water isn't a concern. rainfall should end in a day or two, right? Actually, precipitation can occur more than 215 days a year here. Do you really think it'll rain that long? Anatoly, it's been days already. What makes you think it will stop soon? Relax, everyone. Let's see how long we can ride this out. Fingers crossed it's done by tomorrow. Panic is slowly creeping in. Everyone is looking scared. But you need to survive. Karen and Gregor begin to discuss next options. Do you want to speak with Mariah in the kitchen? Or Anatoly in the living room? I'm sorry, what? Think instead about everything you've done wrong and how you've doomed everyone. I do that often anyway. I don't think I need to do that in-game. The existential dread is setting in. I guess I'll talk to Anatoly, because he's the only one I really haven't built a relationship with, but I definitely should be thinking about everything that I've done wrong and how I've doomed everyone. Anatoly's still paging through the book. Hey, you really should have been more careful with our emergency supplies. What were you thinking? Okay. I'm sorry, Anatoly. Apology accepted. Who could have predicted this much rain? You're sweet as a pound cake. Thank you. You'll have to teach me that vegetable stew recipe when all of this is over. You're sure Anatoly will remember that? Why do I feel like the relationship getting stronger thing is an issue? This book is a great distraction. Very well written. Oh. You get the hint and leave Anatoly to himself. I don't think any of us can take this much longer. Gregor's voice starts to crack. I don't want to ask this, but it's time. One of us needs to go outside and search for food. Everyone is silent. I'll go. Mariah! I used to swim all the time near my house. I probably have the best chance of swimming through the floodwaters. No! Let me go instead. You won't get very far if anything happened to your glasses, Anatoly. You're blind as a mole rat, remember? That's true, but... Little guy, let me go. Gregor, Sounds good to me. Karen! His arms are the longest. He's probably the best at climbing. No, that wouldn't be right, Gregor. Let me go instead. I get that none of these options are good ones, but we need to find food or help. Gregor grabs a branch from the woodpile. He cuts it into different measurements. Since we can't come to a consensus, let's draw for it. We'll each pick one. And the shortest will go outside to search for food. This is getting real bad real fast, and I don't even know what's going on at this point. You're not worried about drawing. You saw Gregor cut the branch lengths. You picked the biggest. You watched the others intently. You're playing a serial killer. That's all this is. Will it be Gregor? Anatoly? Karen? Will it be Looks like I've got the shortest. Mariah. It's okay. I watched Anatoly forage earlier, so I'll know what to look out for. Just swim until you find higher ground and then scout the area. Maybe I'll find fish out there. Everyone looks heartbroken. Karen, Anatoly, Gregor. I'll keep us alive. I promise. She promised. Everyone watches as Mariah leaves the cabin. The silence is deafening. Goodbye. The door shuts behind her. You can faintly hear her yell about how cold the water is, and then silence. Mariah has left the cabin. I'm sure we'll see her again. The rest of the group nods. Everyone stays up, waiting and waiting. The sun has completely set. One by one, each person quietly shuffles off to bed. You have a strange dream. The two women in front of you could be twins. One of them you recognize, the other is a Gabon guest. You ask the guest to sit on a shovel, and then you try pushing it into the oven. Her legs are so strong you can't get her into the oven. You curse at her repeatedly. Like this, you hiss. You stretch out your legs until your toes are almost sticking in the coals. You feel 4 hands on your shoulders, and both of them push you in. The familiar smell of smoke and burning hair causes you to throw up on the embers. You can't let it end like this. You rip the metal door off the oven, tearing through the wood logs of the cabin. Screaming, you chase the two through the woods. One of them looks behind her, eyes widening when she sees you. She's terrified. You've never been this angry in your entire life. You're gaining on them. They can't run forever. As you trample through a field of wheat, the guest throws a piece of cloth behind her. You catch the glint of it in the sun, golden. As if by magic, the earth splits in front of you, creating a chasm of fire below. You fall downward, screaming as your eyes begin to sizzle from the heat. Hellfire fills your lungs. You're unable to scream anymore. You wake in a cold sweat. Damn. Okay. How many days do we get? Good morning. You think she made it to higher ground?
I believe in Mariah.
Me too. She'll be fine. Right, little guy? So what do we do now? Just wait? Karen. How long? It's been almost a day since she left. Anatoly and Gregor look nervous. Someone needs to go look for her. We need to wait, Karen. Wait for what? The nearest town is miles and miles away. Waiting is all we can do for now. So it could be days before she gets back? What are we supposed to eat, mice? That's an option. Karen, I'm sure Anatoly will agree, but we'll discuss next options when we get to it. I never should have eaten that much. I'm... Karen's hands are involuntarily shaking. Gregor and Anatoly just nod in agreement. They don't even need her to elaborate. You're sure Mariah will make it back? She promised. Everyone retreats to a corner. Damn. What do you want to do today? I mean, Karen's pretty mad. I feel like I haven't talked to Karen in a while. I would like to talk to Karen, I think. Hey, you don't have to lie to me. I know Mariah's not coming back. I don't know where she came up with her being the best swimmer. I guess the only one that would know would be Anatoly. Last summer, Anatoly would watch her swim from the shore. He could have been a lifeguard. Such a good swimmer. Wait a minute. She never went under, but if she did, he would have pulled her out easily. Why would she lie about something like that? Karen seems deep in thought. Maybe it's better to leave her alone. You close the door softly. Why did he lie? I feel like if you were such a fantastic swimmer, that's something that you would have brought up. No. 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 I can't stop thinking about the vegetable stew. I'd be fine with the bread and jam. I'd be fine with just the strawberries. Nobody else laughs. I would kill for some vegetables right now. You would too. I'm gonna try to get some sleep. Good night. Night. You fall asleep quickly, but you only dream about desecrating a corpse. You wake in a cold sweat, in a completely different room. What? Okay. Good morning. Karen's looking worse. Will you cook for the group today? I don't have a choice, I guess. You take out a cutlet of meat and begin to cook it in the oven. You cooked meat. Where did you get that? You ignore Karen's question. What's that smell? Gregor finally gets off the couch. Where did you... The three are looking at you, salivating. You take the charred meat out of the oven, cutting into small cutlets. They immediately grab some off the plate, chewing ferociously. You take a piece and immediately devour it. Do you have any more of this? You explain how the meat is stored securely, hidden, so you can ration better this time. I understand. Thank you. Anatoly runs to the bathroom, puking in the toilet. You can hear him sobbing for a few minutes. This taste is... Gregor wanders off. Anatoly returns looking choked up. I was too weak. Left you some. Don't fight this, Anatoly. Anatoly takes a piece from the plate, turning his back to the group as he eats it. You can hear him crying. Finally, my focus is coming back. Going to read some of those books. Keep them occupied, okay? Karen leaves you with the men. Who do you want to talk to? Oh boy. Well, this turned Hannibal real fast.
Be sure to check out the upcoming game Dread Waits.